Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Human Resource Machine. Thank you as always for your support on the previous episode, do appreciate it. And today's episode, I'm going to say it straight away, might just be the last one. Now let me explain why. When I did the last episode, I looked at the time after I finished recording it and I was like, uh-oh, I've been playing this game for way too long. You know, I've got other videos to record, other things to do, and we're hitting a point in this game where it gets really tough. And it takes a lot of time for me to figure these things out. So I'm going to plow through and just try and do as much as I can. I do really like this game, but you know, time is a thing. And if I'm going to sit here for hours trying to figure out how to solve a puzzle, then that's really unproductive, unfortunately. So we're going to just see what happens, basically. This might be the last episode. And I do apologise to all of you that, you know, will be upset about that. But unfortunately, I can't really justify the time if I'm going to spend hours solving a puzzle, and apparently this one right here is going to be extremely difficult. But anyway, we are going to hop into this one, and we're going to pay extra attention to what's written on the right here, and also use the example, which is something I did in the last episode, just not on camera, and it was a really good idea. Anyway, let's read. Yes, we believe in educating our employees on the job here. Do you know what a zero-terminated string is? I do not. I think you're going to tell me. Yes, it's a very old technique and we don't expect you to know. So you may ask me about it if you like. Or you may ask an external source, whatever helps you get the job done. I think we're going to ask you. Give me an example? Alright, tell me more. What is a zero-terminated string? Yes, I can tell you. A string is just a list of values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 4, 9, 9, 2. But how do we know when one string ends and another string begins? What I want to know is what numbers does the string actually have? We can mark the end of a string with something special like a 0. Here are two zero-terminated strings. Okay, is that one string there and a second one there? Possibly. And sometimes a string can be empty. Here are, here are three, well, I said there for some reason. Here are three strings. Notice that the middle one is empty. Right, because it's a double zero? No, it's just a 0. Yeah, gotcha. And yes, sadly, this all means a string cannot contain the number 0, right? Since 0 means something special. Well, now we know. We do. Back to work. So the inbox is filled with zero-terminated strings. So we're working with strings and numbers, and they end in 0. What's that? Ask me, your boss. Add together all the numbers in each string. When you reach the end of a string marked by 0, put your sum in the outbox. That's actually, I'm really glad I understood all of that. That makes a lot of sense. We're adding numbers until we detect a 0, right? Give me an example. Yes, that makes absolute sense. So the 6 and the 4 get added together. 0, 0, 3, 0. So I'm guessing we're going to be pulling out numbers until we get a 0. And we're probably going to have no more than 5 in a row since we've got 5 slots here to work with. So there'll probably be an exception. Jump if 0, put whatever's in your hand into the outbox. Otherwise, it's a case of addition. That being said, when a 0 arrives, what we then want to do is add the numbers together. So I could see a sort of... do we have to have a jump if 0 condition for every number that we like drag over to these boxes? Okay, that would be a bit of a strange thing. Or are we just going to add until we have a 0 in our hands? That's probably smarter, isn't it? We don't need to actually store each number. We need to take from our inbox, and put it into the first slot, right? So I was told that labeling things is a good idea. So this is where we're adding. These look so terrible when I write them. Yes, a work of art it is. Adding. Right, so that's where we're adding. So we're taking from our inbox, it goes into the adding, and that's copy 2. Yeah, and then wait. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if we could just perform the function of adding straight to it? Yeah, that won't work. We need to copy to adding. And I think, actually, no, what we need to do is add what's already there, then copy to adding, and that way we can repeat the step, right? So we want to have a jump if 0 and a jump at this point. I think this is like the way it should work, except you should be there. Yeah, that's right. So we take from the inbox, we add it to add, we copy it to add, and then we jump back to the beginning if the next one isn't a 0. Yeah. I'm missing a few steps here. Right, so we jump back to the beginning, and as soon as we get a 0, what we need to do is copy from, I think we need to copy from adding and put it into the outbox, and then we jump back to the beginning. Right, and then if we get a 0, do we just outbox the 0? Because kind of sounds right. I think I'm missing a step here somewhere. Couldn't we just, instead of doing this, couldn't we just drag there? Right? So if 0, just outbox it and go. So let's run through this. You know, we get a 0, we add and copy it to adding. Oh, that's a good point. If we get a 0 immediately, we need to terminate immediately. So would we actually jump here? Right, so we pick up a 0, bam, we go to the end, we go back to the beginning. If we don't pick up a 0, we do the whole adding and copying, and then we jump back to the beginning and check for a 0 after we picked it out of the inbox. That looks correct, and we've done that all together in a few minutes, just as I thought the game was going to get harder. Now we're going to keep playing, nothing's going to work, because I don't know. What? Oh, okay. So we can't add first, we have to... Ah, now this makes things significantly difficult if we can't... Hey, I'm just wondering if maybe for the beginning... Oh, what we also don't have in here is a clear command. We need to clear that somehow. Okay, so for a second there I was thinking, right, before any of this starts we copy 0 to adding. But then we would need to... Actually, we could do that before one of the jumps, possibly. Once you finish the sequence, you go to the top. When you're doing a loop, you go here. So in that space there, we could add copy from 5 to adding, and then... Oh no, that would be clearing it. We'd make it a 0. Alright, let's see if that works. So we're going to clear adding. Right, now we can go add things to it. So we add in our 5. Oh my god, it looks like it's going to work. Back to the inbox, jump up. Wait, he threw something away. What? Why did he throw something away? He jumped to the inbox, jump of 0. What? What the hell happened there? So you put down 5. Look, added to 5. Then we copy it to. That becomes a 5. We go to the inbox next. Oh, we got 2 inbox commands. We only needed the 1. Interesting. Does that mess anything up if we remove that? I think it might. I don't know. There's a reason it was there. Maybe I just sort of overlooked that we already had it in the correct position. Right, now you got a 12. Copying it to there. Inbox. Oh, we got a 0 and we put it in the outbox. No, I've missed some important things here, haven't I? No, that's not going to work. I think the solution might be to move this to there, because before... I think it's hard to like keep track of what you're thinking when you put these things in a particular order, but I think what I was thinking is that we needed to outbox a 0. Yeah, I was thinking like a 0 is the end of the string, whereas actually once we know we've got the end of the string, we then need to get our number here. Because we've now added this bit up the top, it means that'll be a 0 if we pull out a 0 here, I do believe. So this time, fingers crossed, it's going to be alright. It looks like it is going to be alright. Okay, I saw a 0 come through and our test passed it. Yeah, we did it! And I've got to say, that looks like an efficient bit of code. 10 lines. Come on. After I thought things were going to get tougher, are you telling me that we did good? Well, we've done it in 10. Yeah, not got a single one lower than theirs yet, but... Right, but speed challenge wasn't great. I imagine that has something to do with the way that I was copying 0 across, perhaps. That could be it. I'm happy with that. That was quite easy. A few of you leaving comments saying that I would struggle when we get to strings, but actually that was alright. Now this one I've heard is devilishly difficult, so let's pay extra attention here. This back hallway is for advanced employees always. Are you sure you want to be here? These night shift assignments are optional, you know, and they are difficult. If you need to ask for help, I'll just be here looking through these catalogues for a golden spiral. Okay, tell me more. What's the Fibonacci sequence? Each number in the sequence is the sum of the two numbers before it. The first two are 1 and 1, so the third number is 2. The fourth number is 3, the fifth number is 5, the sixth number is 8. It goes on for a while. Forever, really. Shall we continue? Let's leave that as an exercise for you. Back to work. Give me an example. Oh, I haven't even read this over here, so let's read this and... Oh, wow. Wow. For each thing in your inbox, send to the outbox the full Fibonacci sequence up to but not exceeding that value. For example, if the inbox is 10, the outbox should be 112358. What's the Fibonacci sequence? Ask your boss or use a friendly search box. Right, we're sending the Fibonacci sequence up to that number, but 10 isn't part of the Fibonacci sequence because after 8 comes 13. That's weird. Oh wait, just up to? Like, it doesn't have to be 1, it's the number that's before it. So 13 and 8, the next one would be 21, so you would... Oh my, okay. Honestly, like right now, I'm just thinking I literally have 0 ideas on how how we could even try and make this work, so I'm gonna have to give it some thought, of course. Okay, so having given it some thought, I've got a rough idea of potentially what could work, but I'm not sure if we can make it work with these commands. So I think what we're gonna have to do is copy our input to this thing right here, and then we're going to go and set up the Fibonacci sequence down here. So what we'll do is copy 0 to F2 and then add 1 and then copy that one to here and then add between these two. So because it's a combination of the one before it, I think what we can do is copy the one number, add it to the other, put it down there and then do the thing in reverse. Oh, this sounds so tricky as I'm saying it actually. Anyway, the idea that would be that we go through the Fibonacci sequence here, and each time we do that, each time we go by one number, we compare it to our input, and then we subtract. I've just realised that we've got to create the output as well, so maybe in the process of doing that, while we're comparing, we're also then chucking numbers into the outbox. That sounds so complicated. I can already envision this program confusing me as we go along. Optimization challenges, 19 or fewer commands. That was surprisingly low, but it gives us an idea of what we're aiming for. And I think I'm going to skip recording at this point because as I'm going to arrange stuff over here, I don't think I even know what I'm going to be doing. It's going to start off with us taking something out of the input and copying it to our input right there. But that's about as far as I go at the moment. So yeah, let's see what I can do here. Oh, this game is so crazy. It's like as you're trying to figure things out and create a little program, you're rearranging little bits and bobs, and each time it's like I have to remind myself how this works. Anyway, this little bit right here is like setting things up. We go over to 0, we copy it to F1, add 1, and then copy that to F2. So we've got 1 and 1, first two numbers of the Fibonacci sequence, and oh, I just realised something that probably means this isn't going to work, which is that we need 2 1s at the beginning. Anyway, so we set up like our numbers there, then we pick up something from the outbox. Sorry, we take the 1 to the outbox because that's how we start. Maybe we need to repeat that step there. Anyway, then we come back to the inbox, copy it to our input so we have a copy of the number available. Already I've just realised this jump right here probably isn't going to work. Then we go and subtract it from the first Fibonacci number, and if we get a negative or a 0, it means that we put the correct amount of items in the outbox. So we go back to the beginning and reset the whole thing. If we don't, we continue onwards, at which point we copy from F1, add it to F2, and then we jump back to the beginning and repeat the step. There's definitely stuff missing here, but let's see what happens I mean, it looks good for a while. So now we need a second 1, which we're not going to get, basically. Yeah, so now it's going to make the second number there, and then it doesn't put it in the outbox, so we're going to miss the point there. But we can see here, like, the Fibonacci number. Huh. Not enough stuff in the outbox. Oh, we took from the inbox again when we should have been comparing from the input. So the inbox should probably go up a step then. Also, I got 1 and 3. Did I do that correctly? Do we have to swap around where we save the number each time here? It's so confusing. Oh, it really is. So, rearranging a couple of things, adding the occasional extra command. I remembered that the total amount I think they recommended was 19, which kind of makes me feel like we're close. So I think we've just got one problem left with our program. If I speed it up a little bit here, you can sort of see it does what I want. The problem is this bit here. We are not actually making the Fibonacci numbers. We're also not outputting... Oh, yeah, that's another thing. We need to output the number. Right, so we need to... Whatever I'm doing in this part of the program, we need to add the Fibonacci numbers, and then we need to output them as well, which is the other step that I've forgotten there. So outputting would add 1, and then how could we, with one more command, make it so each time these two get added differently? I think there's just a little bit of logic here that I'm not quite getting. Alright, I just had a rush of excitement as I clicked play and it looked like it was working. I'm so disappointed. I couldn't see a way to do this without repeating the set of commands. So around the, what was it, 18 that the command or the program finished. So what I did is I went, okay, this is the step that we repeat. Now what we're going to do is repeat it. So everything that I'm pointing at, we then, from copy from to outbox, we do it again, except I just swap around these ones right here. So F1, F2, F2, this time F2, F1, F1. And it would appear to work until a point. I haven't actually seen if it works all the way through. So we get in our 2 1s, then we add those together, so we've got 2 and 1. This time though, we add them the other way around, so we get our 3. And this time, oh, we're going to get a 5, which means... Yikes. There it is. Yes, it detected it and went back to the beginning, and now it's doing it for 19. Okay, so 19 isn't a Fibonacci number, which means we should get a negative, and my program should work despite being horrendously large. And if only I knew how to make that a little bit smaller so we didn't repeat ourselves, then it would be probably within the range it wants. Right, so the next number's 13. I can't believe this works. This is incredibly satisfying. Right, now you're going to get... You didn't get a negative. Why didn't I get a negative there? That... 13 plus 8 equals 21. Are we missing a step? I feel like... This bit right here... We do... Hang on, let's go back a step. So we copy from the input, which is 19. We subtract F2, which gives us 6. I see the issue. We need to subtract the sum of the two together. I could supposedly make a fix for that. Oh, I don't even know. I don't even know. Okay, I thought I was tidying up the program, and I think what I just did was made it the same length. I don't know. We just changed this to a 1 because we never really need the 0, I think. Anyway, and then down here I just figured, let's subtract from both the numbers and then do our little jump. Yeah, because we need a total of 2. And that just makes the program bigger, which obviously isn't the correct way to go. So... when subtracting from both, it seems to be fine. Right, this time you're going to go no. Yes, yes, went back to the beginning. Right, and with this large number, because we're subtracting from both, you're going to get it this time, aren't you? You're going to get it, come on. Why did you... What? What? Come on, give me a break. Oh, what happened there? 13... and 8 equals 21. That's... Oh, because equal to 0? So I've got to jump for if it equals a 0 to go all the way back to the beginning. But then you'd miss out on... does that mean we need like a jump to 0 at the bottom and then copy a number? Because if we get a negative, we don't need to copy. Oh my god, I think that's actually right. So let's take the jump to 0. Put that... Just wondering if there's like a cheaty place we can pop it in and it kind of does what we want and then goes back to the beginning. No, there's probably not going to be that. We're going to have to jump to here. Wait a minute. What number are we going to have in our hands if we get a 0? We need to copy from... To copy from the largest number, which I don't know what it would be either, because... It could be on either side. Oh, it's so cruel. That means each jump then needs its own thing, right? Okay, so if we've come back to this part here, which one... Oh, this is getting horribly complicated. I wish I'm going to go and look up how the elegant way to do this is, because this has got on horrendous. So if we're on this 0... We've just done the other one, I think, which means we want to copy from... Where are we copying to? Oh, I don't know. It's horrendously bad, I know. It's a case of where we're running these loops back and forth. Each one has a different number that we would then need to grab to put the output. And so because the 0 and negative are not actually the same, they don't go back to the beginning, it means that we then have to jump them down here. That should work. If this doesn't work now, I'm probably going to rewrite the whole thing, which I don't have time for. So pray to God this works, because I barely understand this thing anymore. Right. Okay, time's ticking by. And I'm just going to have to call it a day on this one. This is what I was talking about. It takes a long time to do this. And what I don't understand here, it says, too many things in the outbox. Your outbox was correct up until now, but management expected 12, not 13 items. So why did he put in the extra item when it had the correct amount? The program ends when the correct amount of items is in the inbox, right? That's what I don't get at this point. So I don't understand what's going on with all of this, really. Also, I was starting to think, we jump down to these points and then we copy from this number and then jump back to the beginning. Like, what does that even do? Because then we'd start copying again. So, was I supposed to outbox something here? Anyway, I've been checking it through again and again, and, you know, spent hours playing this. So, like I said, there may or may not be a next episode. I'll probably check out what the next challenges are and see how difficult they are. Really annoyed I didn't get this one finished, but hey, it's been fun playing this one. So thanks as always for watching, and maybe I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.